Welcome back to another video. Guys, we're going to be talking about people who give unsolicited advice. We're going to talk about that. So let's go ahead and get into the next.
I'm wondering if we can stop creating solutions and lean into the connection by just holding space for what our friend, our partner, our family member, our child is feeling in that moment. Just hold space for the feeling without trying to give a solution or fix the problem.
Hearing it. Okay, absolutely.
One thing you can do to alleviate anybody's suffering, fully accept them and listen to them. Don't give them advice. People feel better if you just listen to them with deep empathy, which means you feel what another person feels. People go to therapists to get advice. Therapists don't do that. Good therapists listen. One thing you can do to alleviate
the best way to help someone is not to give them advice, but to listen to them. Let's say they do what you say and something good happens to them. Well, whose victory is that? Yours or theirs? And if it's yours, did you just steal it? And then let's say they fail following your advice. Well, they pay the price for that. And you can skip away merrily and say, well, I should have spoke more carefully. It's like, you don't mess about with people's destiny. You do not know where they're headed.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, you don't know where they're headed. You don't know what lies beyond whatever it is. You know, let's get into this next video. Here's the opposition of it, okay?
I hate this piece of advice. People keep saying this stupid question. Do you want me to give you advice or do you want me to listen? No! It's probably screwing over your conversations. Because if I ask you that question and you say listen, I'm like, cool. And I'm stonewalling. I'm just like quiet. And I don't know what to say because I have a problem solver brain. I'm still thinking of advice in my head. I'm just not saying it. And you can feel that stuff, okay? Here's what to ask instead. Here's what to do instead. Do you want me to give you advice or do you want me to understand you? That's it. Then I set my problem solver brain into understanding. What are you feeling? What are you thinking? What's your perspective? How are you seeing this? It's so much better. Then I ask amazing questions to understand you, which is what you wanted anyway. Because if I give you advice before I understand you fully, what I'm saying is you just gave me one conversation worth of stuff and you've been living this thing, but I know the answer. I got it. I can solve the problem. It's so disempowering. But me listening and trying to understand you, that's me saying, I believe in you and I want to hear where you're coming from and what you're thinking. It's so much better.
Yes. Okay. At first I was like, wait. But yes. Okay. That's the kind of mindset we need. We do not. Okay. I also think that some people, you should know who to go to complain to who you want to get advice to and give advice from or whatever. Like, you should compartmentalize how you are having your conversations and sharing your business or whatever that is, and not just one size fit all and just hope that everybody's going to understand you and not give you advice. No, you know those certain people who are just going to give you advice, and you know who those certain people are that you just can kiki with. Like,
I really hate when people give me unsolicited advice, mostly because people are having a seek to solve mindset versus a seek to understand mindset. When people give me advice with a seek to solve a problem mindset, they take their singular personal experience and say, well, this worked for me, so this should work for you, without understanding the whole context of the problem that I'm trying to solve. People who give advice with a seek to understand mindset typically ask questions. What goal are you trying to solve? What have you tried in the past? What type of person are you? Like, what is your experience like? For example, I put on Instagram once that I hated doing wash and goes and they never worked for me. People started DMing me, oh, you should try this product. Oh, you should do this. Oh, you should do this, without asking me any questions. So you don't know what products I've tried. You don't know what my hair texture is. You don't know what my hair type is. You don't know why I don't like my washing. You don't know anything about my problem. You just hear me say, I don't like my hair in a certain style and that you should do this. You don't even understand you don't even know what I'm trying to do. So how can you give me advice if you don't have any context? So my advice to anybody trying to give advice to somebody, before you say anything, you need to be asking questions. I don't want to hear advice from nobody unless they've asked me 3 questions first to understand what I'm actually trying to do.
Because I realized one thing, bro. I realized all these people that are giving me advice, do I want to live the life that they live? And when the answer was no, then I wouldn't listen to them. So when my parents said, hey, you should do this, you should go to this university, you should go to this location, you should hang out with these people, you shouldn't say this or you shouldn't do that. And then I evaluated the outcome of their life as much as I love them. I was like, well, I don't want the life that my parents have. I want a different life. Therefore, I have to achieve different things and I have to input different results.
I hate background music. Oh my gosh. But I partly agree with him. But on the other hand, there could be some bums on the street that just so happens to give you advice that you didn't even ask for. And it's like, whoa. Now, the thing about this, though, when it does come to like your parents or just certain people on the internet, some people who are living the lavish lifestyles, you don't really know what's going on, how much debt they have, whatever is going on. You tend to listen to those who look like they have a really good, nice lifestyle, right? Whereas with your parents, you know them. It's like, I'm not listening to you about anything that has to do with dating advice, or, like, you stay getting cheated on, girl. I'm not listening to your advice about that. Like, right? Why are you even asking them or telling them anything that has to do with you? But on the other hand, it's like, when you do have a qualm and somewhere out there, no matter what their life looks like, whatever feedback you get from them and it resonates, you don't know anything about them, or like, this has happened to me so many times where I could just be talking and somebody overhears my conversation and then they jump in and then we start talking, but it's like I can hear the message behind their coming in, and I don't know who they are, I don't know them, I don't know what their life looks like, but it resonated. Whatever they had to say it resonated. So looking at the surface and judging whether or not you're a credible source, or if I want your life, I want my life. I want my life, and I want whatever feedback is coming to me to be love, to be one in love, okay, of care, not concern. But I want somebody who gives a fuck about me and actually cares about my well-being to actually give me that kind of advice, not somebody who's trying to demand this is what you should do because this is how the outcome of that is. Like, I followed everything that was fed to me, okay? The moment I stopped, the moment life got so different for me, but I ended up liking waking up more. I saw my health change. Things were just becoming more different for me, right? And I had to like listen to myself or just listen to other information elsewhere. Not just, because your life looks good, let me just listen to you. No, you don't know what's going on behind this. Everything that glitters ain't gold. That is what I have to say about that. Let's get into cussing these people out.
This whole leaving in silence and don't bother sending a paragraph and act like you don't care, blah, 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 blah. That's cool for some situations, but as for me in my house, I'm going to cuss him out. I am. I'm going to cuss him out. The first time I did it, it felt too good, and now I can't stop. So if he deserves it, if he really did something, if you really deserve the smoke, I'm going to give you the smoke. I'm going to bring it to your doorstep. Trying to prove how unbothered you are and how much you don't care, and prove how little this affected you by like not saying anything about it and just ghosting him. It's for somebody. It's no longer for me. I'm probably not going to make a whole paragraph about it, but I'm going to say something, and it might get disrespectful if that's what you deserve. I'm tired of letting these men get away with whatever they want to get away with in the name of appearing unbothered. I don't care. Yes, I'm bothered. Yes, what you said pissed me off. And yes, you're going to hear my mouth about it today, on the day of the offense. You're going to hear about it. I'm done trying to save face. I'm done trying to look cool. No, you done pissed me off, and now here I am. Let's talk about it.
Period. Oh my gosh. I just recently cussed somebody out after a month, okay, of going through whatever I went through. Like, sometimes, I mean, taking the high road at that point, I was like, no, I don't know why I didn't cuss this person. I was talking to everybody about it. And they're like, girl, why didn't you say nothing? Like, that shit. I'm like, oh my God, you're right. I was just so afraid that I would continue to get lied to. And that's why I was like, I'm not going to waste my time. But cuss them out. Cuss them out. Say what you need to say. You get further and have more context to what is going on when you do let it off your chest and say what it is that you need to say.
Call out the disrespect even if it's awkward. Call out the disrespect even if it's awkward, because they had no problem disrespecting you out loud. You should have no problem standing up for yourself out loud. Don't giggle. Don't giggle. Don't giggle with them. Ain't shit funny. Ain't shit funny. No. I've started to just realize that you really have to give it to people exactly how they give it to you. And if they can't take it, well, you made your bed.
Okay, period. A comment on here says, I did this in front of my family tonight, and then suddenly I'm the problem. I'm the one making a scene. Literally. Another comment on here says, let's all sit in the discomfort. Basically, let all of them sit in the discomfort. Absolutely. Like, why are you talking to me like this? Don't giggle. Don't laugh it away, because it was actually crazy and you should cuss them out. Let them have it. Say no. Everybody wants to be PC or whatever it is and be predictable. No, some shit. And then, oh, wait, actually, we're going to play the next video. We're going to play the next video, okay? Because this is what happens when you just let that shit rock.
I'm definitely at the point in my life where I'm just gonna go on and cuss your ass out. I'm not finna try to talk it out. I'm not finna try to be the bigger person. I'm not finna risk a heart attack and a stroke and finna bust a blood vessel trying to be the bigger person and walk away. No, I'm gonna go on and cuss your ass out and go on and get your ass together. I'm gonna go on by my damn day. Don't make me no never mind. Because ain't nothing worse than the feeling you feel when you do take the high road and be the bigger person and you walk away feeling holed out, thinking about it all day, bothering you. You just keep thinking about it and getting mad over it again. You didn't say what you could have said, and you just feel like they won, like they hold you out, like they got the best of you. No. Nope. I'm going to go and clear your ass right now. Because when you try to be the bigger person, that's when people get to smelling themselves and get to wanting to be cute and want to be fancy and stuff. And then they get to talk about some, that's what I thought and shit. Now, hold on. Just cause what? What you mean that's what you thought? Then I always want to say something about me cussing and how much I cuss. You're gonna talk like that in front of your kids, baby. You started this bullshit with me in front of my kids. You're absolutely correct. You gonna get dealt with right then and there in that spot wherever it's occurring. I don't care who around. I don't care. Yo kids, I'm not finna censor myself because yo kids. I don't care. You shouldn't have pulled that shit while yo kids was in presence.
Period. Into the next video.
Sometimes you have to be a little disrespectful to show them just how respectful you've been. Listen to that again.
And for my recovering people pleasers, let's talk about what's not disrespect. Respecting your boundaries, that's not disrespectful. Not letting people walk all over you, that's not disrespectful. Having a backbone and standing up to people, that's not disrespectful. Valuing yourself, your worth, your time, your energy, that's not disrespectful. Limiting access to people that no longer deserve you, that's not disrespectful. I say all of this because when I decided to start establishing boundaries in a lot of my unhealthy relationships in the past, whether that was at work, family, friends, school, or romantic partners, I was labeled as mean, and I was told, oh, you're not the same, you've changed, you're acting brand new, you're acting different. Yeah, I am, because why do I want to let you disrespect me? That's stupid. And this is why I believe in telling people how you feel. Of course, exercise situational awareness, and if you have to put it on your to-do list for later, make sure you actually handle it later, because people will do to you what you allow them to. A lot of times we brush stuff off and we push things to the side thinking that if we just let it slide, they won't do it again. Sometimes you think if you just tell someone nicely or politely, they won't do it again. No, with some people, you just have to be very direct, and if they try to cross that line again, you just got to cut them off. Per my last email is not disrespectful, because if you were smart enough to read, you would know that I said this 30 minutes ago. That's not hostile. That's not you overreacting. That's you showing people that they should pay attention, because how many times have you said this? People think that we're supposed to constantly repeat ourselves. If you don't feel like it, you don't have to. Telling somebody, don't talk to me that way, that's not being disrespectful. Telling someone that they need to be held accountable for their actions, that's not disrespectful. Returning the same energy that somebody gave to you first, that's not disrespectful. And a lot of people will convince you that you're being disrespectful because they're not used to you standing up for yourself. Your body even plays tricks on you sometimes, because I know for me, when I first started establishing boundaries, I would get cold sweats, I would have heart palpitations, I would literally internally be freaking out, because any time that I tried to establish a boundary with a toxic person that showed me that they were toxic, they always had a very negative reaction. And silly little old me would continue to try to get them to respect my boundaries for extensive periods of time where it was just a waste because they never did, and I just needed to cut them off. One, good, getting them together, and if they don't get it, never speak to them again. And sometimes that one time that you get them together, that needs to be the last time that you speak to them. Because if you allow people to disrespect you, you're not respecting yourself. In fact, you are disrespecting yourself by sitting through someone else's disrespect that you do not deserve. Again, time, place, situational awareness, all of those play a factor in these situations. But it is your responsibility to teach people how to treat you. And the only way you can really do that is if you know how to treat yourself. And for a lot of us, that takes copious amounts of life lessons. I mean, I have had to reach some very low lows in order to treat myself better so that I would know what I would not be allowing in my life. But standing up for yourself, that's not disrespectful. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Absolutely. All right. I wanted to play this one video about having a mind of your own. Just really quick.
One thing about me is I've always been kind of abrasive, a little bit aggressive. I've been a little bit like, I don't GAF what you say. Like a little bit of rebel, right? Like a little bit of attitude. And I'm so grateful for that, because it seems like everybody these days just jumps on the bandwagon and they just jump on whatever is trendy, and like they don't really have a mind of their own. They don't have a style of their own. I mean, people's faces are even starting to look the same, okay? So like to have a mind of your own, an opinion of your own, and not give a F whether people like it or not, that is so sexy. That is so hot. That is so attractive. That is so magnetic. Like, normalize having an opinion that isn't homogenous with everybody else's. Like, can you have your own opinion? Can you have your own thoughts? Can you be original and creative? And can you be home? Are you there?
Okay, this just adds to all the good sauce that we touched on a little bit today. So let me know in the comments, like, how do you guys deal with unsolicited advice? How do you seek your advice? And also, how do you handle when you need to set boundaries? Are you cussing them out? Are you speaking up for yourself? And do you have a mind of your own so that you can be able to source this confidence, source this response in a productive kind of way? Let me know in the comments below. This one was a nice little quick one. I have some stories I gotta tell y'all about. But for now, I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.